Hello, I'm Nee B. Thank you for your company at this festive and very special time of year. This is a sort of stocking filler, if you will, something to debate over as we spend more time with our family and friends and our loved ones. Welcome to part 19 of this very exhilarating series called RFEFP, a timed debate. So if you're looking for a real piece of time and want to own your very own, very correct 24-hour clock, please check out theflatearthclockshop.com. It will be time very well spent. Now I am, for a few years now, very proud to say I believe totally 100% in a flat, motionless, geocentric Earth, and want to throw out a question to all the helio-believers on the Earth, and to my fellow flat earthers, as this is such an interesting subject matter. So to all Copernicans, Newtonians, to all the heliocentric believers of our Earth, my very serious debate question to you. Is there any way today that you could try to convince me that we genuinely live on a spinning, oblated spheroid, rotating at a constant 1,000 miles an hour at the equator line, that is also speeding around the sun at 67,000 miles an hour, with this natural ability to stick all of the water to it from the outside of it without the use of computer generated images or imagery or video in this 21st century? As I reckon, with only a little time and plain science and your obvious common sense, I could convince 90% of you doubters that we actually, genuinely live on a flat, geocentric, level water-based Earth with an overhead moving sun and moon without the use of computer-generated images or imagery or need for video. Now, even today's flat earthers have all grown up or are growing up with the computer-generated image of the globe. The question is, how can we see it as fake and most of you don't or can't see it as fake? This is not the case, friends, at all. Yes, obviously, before we get all the questions, I can only present this information via social media, i.e. video, which is the biggest contradiction, friends. However, if we were in person and mono-y-mono, face-to-face, and it was put to the test as a debate topic, neutral ground, is there any way that you could try to convince me we genuinely are on a spinning oblated spheroid without CGI of a globe? What do your eyes see? What do your ears hear? What do your senses tell you? What do you walk on and around? And what do you drive on and around? What do you sail on and around? And what do you fly on and around? On and around, my friends, like a compass, which you can hold in your hand right now. A circle, a very large, by the way, plane circle, 360 degrees. There is no elevation drop to be seen, or any such thing as a curve to the earth, is there, really, without CGI or video? If you honestly think about it, in mathematics, friends, all spheroids must curve at a certain height, downward and away from any point on them, no matter what shape, obliqued or globed. It's the shape. It's a must for a ball Earth as a mathematical certainty. Take a plane ride to a foreign country, or take a trip on a hot air balloon. What do you see? Drive from one state to another. Drive to one part of a country to another. In fact, drive all over a country, even fly around one. You will still see the same flat Earth, won't you? Our eyes, friends, do not deceive our perception, only our vanishing point. No matter at what distance we can travel to, up or down, straight, left and right, you will always see a flat Earth, won't you? At what point does the Earth present itself to something, to you, completely foreign to what your senses are telling you? Where is this ball-shaped Earth? When you go in a small rowing boat, a kayak, on a cruise ship, maybe you have your very own yacht, you will always see a flat horizontal horizon line in all directions. Even in a submarine that uses periscopes, they see a flat, clear line of sighted vision above the water as it's flat and level. With a few waves in motion, of course, friends. They work because the water is mostly level flat, as the surface of all standing water is flat. This you can see, even using a spirit level, which is filled with what and why? If the Earth has at least 72% level water, that leaves only 28% dry land. At what point on the water does the elevation drop happen? Bearing in mind now, we have the best technology, digital telescopes, digital binoculars, and using our eyes to watch all boats, all ships, all vessels for many, many, many miles. And even when we're now on them, seeing the lighthouses and cities and land and landmarks, that should not be remotely possible if the Earth was a globed ball. But we still see them, don't we? Now, when you go on a plane, a flight around the Earth, what happens? In short, you take off, ascend to the correct altitude, around 36,000 feet, using a gyroscope and vortex technology, then level out. Seatbelt lights turn off, flying straight, maybe turning left or right in the correct direction in a circle. Remember, a very large one. Thus, when your destination is reached, time to descend, the seatbelt light goes on and thus land at a non-moving landing strip. If you look out of the window on takeoff, what do you see? All things getting very small and very flat until the clouds cloud your vision. Some do say at this point they can see a sort of curve. But do you really? When the window itself is curved from the outside? Next time you're on one, look right up close to the window. There is nothing but flat to see. Hence, if it was square, you would still see a completely flat horizon Of course, there are no tricks here. Maybe sit on the wing, or better yet, friends, jump out of a plane and see it if you're not too scared to look around at a distance of 10,000 feet? The Earth is completely flat. If you can purchase a HAB, a high altitude weather balloon, which we can do now in the 21st century, and are able to get to a point of over 100,000 feet up above the Earth, under the right conditions, of course, and the Earth is totally flat. You can see it if you record the footage for yourself in real time. Yes, it's video, but it's your own. No special effects or fisheye lens, just real, unedited proof of a flat, motionless Earth. If the Earth is some sort of bald globe, the Earth must, and it really must, friends, at some point curve towards the mathematical shape of an oblated spheroid, downwards and away. Or this 8-inch per mile squared formulae, 25,000 mile circumferenced globe, derived and calculated from Copernicus himself as the so-called correct mathematical equation for the curvature of the Earth. But does anybody see it? Really? I can't see it, and my eyes are wide open. Not shut. So when the Nasseratsi boys got to the height that was supposed would be a very much able distance to see a curved bald Earth, especially after 500 years of heliocentric solar system indoctrination onto the masses, they had realised very, very quickly that the Earth is very flat, no matter how high they go. And they have a massive big problem to sort out immediately. Do they tell the truth, or do they lie about it? Now, thanks to a little gem of information, we have the raw, unedited footage of them doing just that in low Earth orbit. And over the next coming years, they have gotten better and better at it. As we know, practice seems to make perfect. So if NASA and any of the other space agencies ceased to operate, shut up shop for good, and there was never another space movie or TV show made about heliocentrism, all movies and TV shows were only made here on and about the plain Earth, and using the imagination and the science that it has to offer, using the beautiful animals, the people, the unfounded mysteries that we have and yet to be discovered. How could you ever believe that you genuinely live on a spinning, oblated spheroid moving around the sun at a ridiculous 67,000 miles an hour? If you watch the sun and use a shadow clock or sundial, even put a rod into the ground to create a shadow mark, you can see the sun moves around overhead every day. And with its magical zodiacal light, which attends the sun in his daily circuit of our Earth. And no, this is not the crepuscular rays, because this phenomena, zodiacal light, still baffles most leading astrophysicists, so it's best not to talk about it. Well, let's. After sundown, it appears in the western sky, the point where the sun has disappeared behind the horizon, being the centre of its base, from which it slants to an apex, often extending upward for 90 degrees. It's there, friends. It's very observable when you know what to look for, proving, once again, scientifically, the sun moves around the Earth. The sun moves in a spiral line, winding like a screw, pulsating around the Earth, southward from June to December, and thus northward from December till June. Therefore, every day subsequently stays behind the stars about 4 minutes or so, thus marching through the stars within the year, hence all the zodiac signs, and your birthday comes around every year. Plain, simple science with a dash of astrology, to which are all observable, testable, and repeatable, which is the true definition of science, my friends. The science fiction world of heliocentricity has never been and can never be based or written as a real science, as it's all only a hypothesis, a theatrical way of presenting something nobody can really tell for themselves. They just have to put their trust in the so-called experts in the field and hope that they are getting it right. Well, I personally do not think that they are. How can they be when the Earth is a geocentric flat one? And this, my friends, you can tell for yourself, as we have mentioned. So in full circle, this is the very question to all globe believers that cannot answer, what no space agency can answer, what no astrophysicist can answer here on plain Earth. Without a CGI picture or video, there is absolutely no way you could even convince yourself, let alone anybody else, when you think about it, that you actually live on a spinning globe. Please ponder on that thought forever, because it's why it's a real flat Earth fact on the plane. So as we close this upload and the year, I would like to thank the Earth for a very special 2019. Thank you, YouTube, and thank you, the viewer. Wishing you happy holidays and festive joy. Please look after yourselves, as I will be back in 2020 with part 20 and a few little surprises along the way. Thank you to all the subscribers and the viewers this year. I do hope all your dreams come true for the coming new year. Bear this question in mind. Without that picture or video, there is no way you can tell you live on a globed Earth. Maybe it's not as crazy believing in a flat geocentric Earth as you first realised. This was Nee B. Thank you for your time and your attention. I'll see you in the next upload. Happy holidays.